Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with Long Plan Profit. Hope you guys are having a great start to the morning. As I was setting up for this live stream, DGAS had a huge push up. It was actually very unexpected. I was like in between going live, and I was like, should I buy? Should I not? Natural gas with the really solid sell off. Again, market literally just opened. Natural gas was doing an absolute just beautiful job trading in between the middle and top VWAP. Now it looks like it's selling off. So I'm going to take a maybe like 100 share position size and kind of go from there. Let's check this out. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and send it with 100 shares, see where it goes from there. If we start seeing signs of a continuous uptrend pattern, then great. If not, then I can absolutely just cut losses on it. But I'm going to be trying that same thing that we were doing last week, and solely focusing on the pattern, not focusing too much on how much it is that I'm up, how much it is that I'm down, and stuff like that. So I'm pretty excited, pretty pumped. Let's see, here we go. All right, so it looks like we're right around that 107 price point. Samantha, yeah, I just bought 100 shares. Again, you guys can literally see what it is that I'm trading. Here we go. Actually, I want to focus a little bit more on this, if that's okay, on natural gas itself. All right, so I want to give it a little bit more time. Hopefully, you guys are all having a great start to the morning and feel pretty solid. I woke up and feeling like a little like groggy. I'm feeling a little under the weather again today. But what's the reason that you got into DGAS instead of UGAS? So again, I did explain that natural gas is selling off as of right now. It's trending below the EMA line, right? It was showing signs of an uptrend pattern when it was consolidating in between the middle and top VWAP. So it was showing signs of a nice little uptrend pattern, but then once it broke below the middle VWAP, and as soon as the market opened, then we started to see signs of a downtrend pattern. So as right now, we got a nice little push up. So we'll see if it gets rejected here, or if it starts showing signs of an uptrend pattern. If it starts to show signs of an uptrend pattern, I'll most likely have to cut losses on the 100 shares. Check this out. Here we go. We just broke above the middle VWAP. So I'm going to get ready to cut losses on this. Here we go. Just going to give it a little bit of time, and then we can kind of go from there. Yeah, exactly. So seeing if the EMA line and the middle VWAP begin to act as a support again, and if not, then we'll most likely see this thing get rejected and continue to trend down, and we can go from there. There's a couple of people that are talking about their TOS not working, not too sure what's going on, but you guys can feel free to call TD Ameritrade if that's the case. Already up 700 today. What's going on, Peyton? Super happy to hear that. Yeah, TOS did have an update, but well, yesterday in our Sunday Stock Talk, I was able to go through that. So correct, that is correct, Zach. Yeah, So just maybe a couple people need to update their TOS. Apple Juice, super happy to hear that. Congrats on your nice little swing trade. Wow, crazy. Peyton, well, I'm really happy to hear that you're doing much better now. Nice, $1,400. Yeah, they're killing it. Are you doing the blind trading? Yeah. Yep. At least for now. I don't know if we'll continue to do it throughout the entire week. I just wanted to give it a little bit more of a chance to see. I wanted to see if I could break over $1,000 on the day. But yeah, what's going on, Corey? What's up? Welcome to the team. Nice, Brandon, 2%. I like it. Hopefully you locked in profits. All right, so the MACD is starting to show signs of a potential peak, and the RSI is starting to pull back down. So if that's the case, we'll most likely see natural gas sell off unless it validates the EMA line as a support. So as right now, still showing signs of a downtrend pattern. Here we go. Oh, again, just need to maybe give it a little bit more time for it to identify its direction. So Sarah's asking if I swing trade. So again, I did swing trade a lot the better half of last year, but due to like the change of like the market and how inconsistent it became, I started to swing trade less and focus a little bit more on day trading. All right, let's see. Thoughts on /sale? Yeah, let's go ahead and check it out. What's going on, Ethan? Hope you're having a great start to the morning. Just gonna set my alerts while I break other things down. So here we go. Okay, nice. A very aggressive sell-off, right? A lot of consolidating now. So I'd like to see if a reversal were to happen, right? So let's give it a little bit of time. But yeah, if this thing were to reverse, then it should be like DWT or UWT, right? So DWT is super overextended, and it should be UWT though, and that can try to reverse. I'll set my alert for the break above the middle EWOP on this one. So great call out, nice little margin of profit. Still a descending pattern, so let's just make sure that we note that. That's crazy. That's super crazy. Congrats, Brett. So what do you find to be better, swing trading or day trading? I think it goes by, again, I like to focus not on a general like question as in like what's better, swing trade or day trade. Is if I find a stock that's consistent enough that I can swing trade, the margin of profit is worth it, and that I would feel comfortable holding, then I would swing trade it. But if I see certain patterns that, aren't very consistent but offer a decent margin of profit within the day, and I could scalp it, then I'll day trade it. So I think it just goes by, a case per case basis and whatever it is that you feel more comfortable trading. So I see a couple of you guys are saying that maybe it's time to add more to DGAS as it's trying to like reverse back up. I wouldn't necessarily say that's the case. As of right now, we don't know if it's going to continue to uptrend. So I would like to give it a little bit more time for it to identify its direction. So again, the market just opened, and why try to force it? So let's see. So I like that it is selling off, right? That's in favor of DGAS. But I just want to make sure that it's going to continue to downtrend. So we talked about it, right? On it pushing up, getting rejected by that middle VWAP. It played well with the MACD and began to descend. If you guys saw, like when it began to consolidate here, the MACD then began to point down. The RSI began to point down, which I was able to use as an indication of, hey, this thing might continue to, or might begin to sell off and stuff like that. So, and there it goes. So, yep, I like it, Peter. Good eye, good eye. There we go. Let me ask you guys, just as like a reminder, do you guys have an idea, like if you are actively trading, what your percentage goal for the week is? Do any of you guys have a certain percentage growth goal or a dollar goal when it comes down to like trading for the week? Do you guys have that set? So 5%, 2%. Some people have a dollar goal. 3%, -6%, 3 to 4%. I like that. 2.5. I like how a lot of the percentages are very modest, right? That's 10 to 15. That's pretty aggressive. 8 to 10. 4 to 8. That's a big difference, 4 to 8. So again, I wouldn't overcomplicate it. I think something that works really well for me is someone that's like, I'm very like goal oriented, and just to have structure and just to make sure that like you focus on those quality trades, that you're reminded that you should have a weekly goal and you should have probably a monthly goal on what you're trying to work towards, because when things are so free, it almost can become like counterproductive, right? So I like how everyone's talking about like, their percentage anywhere around from like 2 to 5%. If you're someone that's just getting started, maybe just even breaking even, and with your 3-day trades, that could be a goal, right? It doesn't mean that you have to start making money right away or start growing your account, but as you're learning how to manage a risk, take advantage of opportunities and stuff like that, right? So, and you guys could do the math with the power of compounding interest. If you guys, were to keep like even 2.5% a week or something like that, it's huge. It could honestly like really, really grow your account. Thinking about where that could be 5 or 10 years down the road, especially as you begin to like develop and become more well versed in the market. It could be like it's really exciting to see those numbers. But again, like the numbers make sense. Now you just need to work towards it and making sure that we stay that consistent, right? So it looks like we might have a slight little resistance right around like this SMA line as of right now. It's kind of hard for me to be able to see. Natural gas is kind of, as of right now, struggling to continue to sell off. So it didn't go as low as it did before. And again, I know that I bought, yeah. So if I go back to DGAS, I know that I bought like around the mid 106. So I can't get too, like, again, it doesn't matter how much it is that I'm up, how much it is that I'm down. If I see that this thing is going to begin to sell off and stuff like that, then it might make sense on maybe why I should like cut losses or just sell my position regardless of how much it is that I'm up or how much it is that I'm down. So I'm kind of waiting, looking at natural gas right now. So again, I have natural gas on this screen as well, while I'm looking at DGAS over here. So nice. Wow, really nice push up. Here we go. Nice little push. So I'm going to sell this. Here we go. And it goes up. Wow. Yeah, I sold. Sold for 420. Nice. Congrats on the successful trade. Okay, nice little push up. I sell and it shoots up. Yeah, it's all good though. I still feel like we sold at a decent price. Don't know. I know exactly where I sold. I sold at 107.27. I think I bought at 106.50, around there. So I'm still struggling to identify how it's going to be trending for the day, because obviously DGAS had a very aggressive sell-off, right? That's a pretty decent percentage that it lost over the weekend, almost like 10%. So NKE just broke above 83.29. That's Nike. So just a little heads up on that. But since, what is this? Around 7 o'clock, we started to see that it began to show signs of an uptrend, and it started to push up. So now I don't know if we're going to start seeing DGAS trend up on the day and UGAS trend down, or if this is just like a little pullback for natural gas, and then it's just going to continue to rally. So it's understanding the direction for the day, right? Do you guys kind of get what I'm hinting on? That like if I'm struggling to identify the direction, maybe I just shouldn't trade it or trade it as aggressively, and maybe give it a little bit more time, and that's okay, right? Okay. Again, there's nothing wrong with holding back and being a little bit more conservative. So right now we're seeing that this thing is trying to push up. We could 100% sell the MACD, again indicating a potential reversal. RSI is beginning to point back up. It's a little bit more on the oversold side, so I like that. So going to UGAS, we can try to see if we want to take part of this. The EMA line is just a little bit too close for me. And I don't know exactly where it's going to get rejected. It can get rejected around the middle of the UP. I'm just going to give it more time to identify its direction. I took that one little trade. I probably barely made anything off of it because I only had 100 shares. But I feel like, I was about to cut losses. If there was going to be a break of pattern, I didn't because there was no break of pattern there just yet. And um, waited for the reversal. I was going to add more to my position size, but I was uncertain if it was going to continue to uptrend. So I decided that it wasn't worth it, and that's okay. I didn't feel comfortable with it, and that's okay with me. So again, just saying no rather than just going for it and risking it for the biscuit, right? And then locking in profits as soon as I saw that it, broker resistance became a little bit more on the overextended side, and it made sense on, as we got relatively pretty close, to the SMA line, because around like 107.27, it was right around that SMA line, and it makes sense on why it can get rejected there based off of like, how it was trading on Friday and stuff like that. So again, just a little bit of a reason behind it, and being okay how it played out. So it looks like we're just about to break 108, and let's see. Yeah, and trust me, like, so you're saying that your biggest losses came from ignoring those thoughts and feelings. Um, I've been there. I've done that multiple times, and sadly, like sometimes you do have to experience it yourself, for it to really stick, for you not to do that and make that same mistake again. But as long as you know and you're willing to like learn from it, then we don't necessarily have to experience to that degree that same form of loss, right? How can you find stocks with high percentage? So again, you can perform technical analysis, go through the series of stocks that are shared within like the group alerts, or start scanning for stocks. It's all provided for you in the course as well. Yeah, expensive lesson. Yeah, they suck 100%. Yeah, Reagan. So this was your first time holding DGAS over the weekend, starting to regret it now. Um, yeah, I mean, again, asking yourself, like, was there a reason behind holding it, or did it just not perform the way that you expected it to on, Friday, and that was the reason behind your hold? Trust me, like, I've been there so many times with like swing trading something when there's no actual reasoning behind it. Just my day trade didn't perform the way that I expected. And again, I just want you to know, like, based on my experience, like has happened multiple times. So it sucks, and it's a super hard pill to swallow because it looks like it's down about 7.27% as of right now. Um, but again, it's understanding big picture that if the dollar amount that maybe you lost is too much, to maybe not trade with so much, and you have to accept that. Like, you have to take action, right, and continue to refine yourself. So maybe trading with less as you're still learning, and little things like that, so you feel more comfortable with your trades, your day trades. Maybe it would have been easier for you to cut losses on Friday if you were trading with a smaller dollar amount, because it would have become more insignificant, right? Do you think that DGAS will recover? I think that DGAS is still a little bit more on the overbought side. We're still pretty early into, the transition from winter to spring, so I think that natural gas can potentially continue to sell off, but it doesn't mean that it has to. So it's just understanding that like DGAS hit highs of like 120 on Friday, and that's super overbought, right? It started at like 40 or 50 like midwinter. So Landon, it's all. I really appreciate you guys thanking me and stuff like that when you guys are up. But you guys are the ones that are taking action of all these different opportunities and stuff like that. So super happy to hear that you guys are like already killing it so early. It's mind boggling to me that like we have people within like just a couple of weeks, um, like actually understanding what they're doing and stuff like that. But again, understanding that you don't have it all figured out, and that it's going to take time to become more comfortable with it. So wow. Okay. Really strong push up on natural gas. So it looks like we are trading in between the EMA line and the top VWAP as of now. I think we found the direction. I think for as of right now, like, yeah, But again, it's super overbought, super overextended. So again, not trying to jump into the hype and stuff like that, like holding myself back. Like, yeah, it sucks, especially because it sold at 107, 107.27. So I missed out on like a dollar and, what is that, 73 cents or whatever that is. So, and it's still going up. But again, I don't want to buy at the very top or very peak, and understanding that it is overextended and stuff like that. There's a reason on probably why I should wait. But yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, so I'm back even. I don't know if you want to lock in profits there or just cut losses there. Again, understanding that this is, wow, holy moly. Really nice push up. That's sweet. I hope some of you guys that maybe swing traded or took a position on DGAS on Friday and held it, and as it's pushing up, again, don't be afraid to like lock in profits and to hold. Again, let's not be hopeful. Let's just understand like what's going on and kind of go from there. So as of right now, I'm not in anything, right? That just covered like 2.5%. It's only down 6% on the day now. It's pretty crazy. Just locked in profits. Nice. You guys are killing it. I don't think there's much that I need to say now. I mean, right now it looks like it's playing out in your favor. If any of you guys are in you guys right now and now feeling like a little bit, under the weather now because the directions have changed. Again, it's just being a little bit quicker to understand when the direction is changing or when something is at a critical point, as in like when something was downtrending but then begins to uptrend and trading between the middle and top VWAP, to understand and see these patterns and to be able to react to them and be like, okay, well, right now the direction might be changing, so I might want to hold back, right? Or cut losses or lock in profits and then kind of just wait and have a little bit more of a clear understanding of what's going on. So 2.42%, guys. All right, sounds good. Nice. Okay. Hey, you guys are doing great. I appreciate that, Robert. Thank you. For all those that clear and hit their daily goal today, maybe you guys can buy yourself a nice little Tech Buds mug. Just kidding. But yeah, is there any open-ended questions that you guys might have for me before I close out the live stream? I wanted to just kind of like talk to you guys for a little bit. So slow and steady wins a race. Yep, I like that. You guys are talking about the mug. It was a joke. We have like different mugs on the Tech Buds apparel site. The link is in the down in the description if you guys want to check it out. And even if you guys like, have any ideas for like designs or something like that, feel free to let us know. And if you guys come up with a good enough design, I'll buy it off of you. As in like, if you guys are like graphic designers and stuff like that. As long as you guys don't get offended if we choose to not go with the design, we'd love to hear you guys out. Landon and a and a shirt, yeah. All right, here we go. Nice little pullback. So I'm just gonna take a little position here. Ooh, /CL just broke above that little setup that we had, so feel free to check that out. All right, got filled at 108.47. Holy moly. Really strong push up. Crazy. I like it. Nice. Great call out to our member that just reminded us that, hey, /CL sold off very aggressively. Hopefully it helped some of you guys out. Now it's trading between the middle VWAP. So nice little reversal there. I actually really like this question. I think we're going to close it out. I like that, Sean, 100%. So I've decided to not follow your trades as I need to be 100% comfortable with my own decisions based. Yep, love that. I like it, Aiden. Yep. Yeah, so I like this question, Ellie. And it's, what is something that you think that you need to personally improve on in regards to trading? So I think that's a great question to ask, because some people might think that that I don't have to improve anything about my trading style, which is definitely not the case. There's a lot. I think when it comes down to something that I've noticed is, regardless if my trade or the overall day ends up being green, I've talked about it multiple times where I do very well within the first 2 to 3 hours of trading, and I make a majority, maybe 80 to 90% of my profits are within that time range. But then after that, if I'm still trading, I begin to overtrade, and maybe I'll make $100. But again, if I'm up $1,500 and making $100 in 4 hours, it becomes counterproductive. So I've learned to do well and to feel good with my trading, to feel like I'm just being effective and efficient. I need to walk away. After 10 to 11 a.m. in the morning, I have a lot of work that I have to catch up on, aside from just our trading groups and stuff like that. And sometimes I hold myself back because I take a position size, or I take a position and I'm just watching it, throughout the entire day. And again, it's just always something in the back of my head where I'm just wow, I just really should not have taken that position. Regardless if it turns out to be green or not, that's besides the point, because again, if I'm here to be effective and efficient with my trading, I need to make sure that I feel comfortable throughout the entire, trade and stuff like that. And that's just been something that I've been able to point out. So UWT just broke above 1221. Also, another thing of, so /CL, damn, it's ripping. Another thing that I've noticed about my trading is when it comes down to cutting losses, I usually wait for a break of pattern, and sometimes I maybe give back a little bit more than I should because I don't have a max percentage loss, which is something that I'm probably going to get back into a little bit more now rather than a break of pattern. So being a little bit more focused on making sure that I manage my risk at 2% max, maybe every single position, just to ensure that within the day, I tend to clear over 3 to 4% normally within the day. And as long as I continue that, even if I do lose 2%, then I could at least recover and ultimately, it would make sense on why I could still stay green. There's a lot of things that I could refine about myself. Waiting for confirmation a little bit more, not being so aggressive with adding to my position size. I'm learning to be even more patient now. Focusing on the pattern itself and not how much I'm up or down. Trust me, that's still something that I experience just like each one of you, right? We've talked about it multiple times. I'm human and I make these mistakes. And it's just understanding that sometimes I do get caught into the hype of wanting to chase the dollar value. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just understanding that that's not going to be super effective long term for trading, right? There's so many things that there's so many things that I can continue to refine about my trading best practices that's why when people ask Ricky, why don't you trade with $100,000, or why don't you trade with $500,000 and stuff like that, it's because I know that I'm every single day I'm getting better and I'm becoming more comfortable and more confident, and I'm still making mistakes as time goes on. I'm conservative, and I think that helps me out with like staying consistently green because I just choose to lock in profits. But the money that I make from trading now is more than enough, and I feel comfortable with it. So I know as time goes on, I will, slowly begin to add more to my account, trade with a little bit, with a higher dollar amount, and it makes sense to me, and that's all that matters. If someone says, there's actually a video where someone was saying like, if Ricky's actually like a millionaire, right, then why is he only trading with like $40,000 and stuff like that? And it's like, I can be trading with $5,000, and if that's what I feel comfortable trading with, like my net worth and how much money I have in the bank is completely irrelevant to you and your decision to try to decide like, how much I should be trading with. If you have $1 million to your name and you want to trade with it, all power to you, right? And I think that's like, people are so opinionated, and you'll notice this as well. Regardless if you guys like begin to share your story and stuff like that, you'll see that people will try to tell you what you should or should not do when it comes down to trading. Like, there's nothing wrong with being open-minded, but to understand that like you are all like talented and like smart and motivated like people. So you should be the sole decision maker on what you choose to invest in. Never trade based off other people's opinion. If it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. And that you have to understand that like what can actually like make you money and you can do extremely well with takes time, and you need to understand that it takes a lot of time and hard work. And as long as you understand that and you approach it in a very realistic way, with hard work and consistency and determination, then your time will come. And luckily we have nothing but time, right? So we are dumb sometimes. Well, we become emotional, right? We're human. I don't want to say that that's a dumb mistake. It's a human mistake. So but yeah. Appreciate that, Alan. Thank you. Yeah, it's just you'll see as and there's and I think like a lot of our people within like Learn Plan Profit and TechBot Solutions become a target because like we are literally the largest group on Facebook and the largest group on YouTube, right? So we're the biggest group, and we're probably one of the newest groups out there, and we just become a huge target to other individuals and their opinions and stuff like that. And you'll see that like people just love to talk. And I think the best way to put it into perspective is there's this quote, right, that says like winners focus on winning and losers focus on winners. And it's just understanding that like you're not gonna like better yourself by focusing and trying to like subjugate others. Like you don't see Elon Musk talking crap about other car companies, but there's so many car companies that will bag on Elon and Tesla and what they're doing. Same thing when it comes down to like Jeff Bezos, right, and being super aggressive with the way that he runs his business, and being the richest man in the world. Like you just become a huge target when you're on top. So understanding that like while you guys are progressively becoming better versions of yourself, people will try to bring you down. And I think that's also a very hard part for a lot of like entrepreneurs and investors, is the psychological kind of like aspect of while you're doing better, people begin to become jealous. Maybe they didn't experience the same success that you are, or they're just, I think a lot of it just has to do with that, not even the jealousy and the monetary aspect, but how fulfilled or maybe happy they see you as you're learning about a new market. And they're like, oh, you're just hopeful and all this stuff. It's again, if you have and see value in what it is that you're doing, regardless if the monetary aspect is there every day, it just makes you happy, surround yourself with, amazing people that empower you and that make you feel fulfilled, then that should be enough to want to learn more and possibly better yourself, right? The more you learn, the better that you can possibly do. So there's nothing wrong with that. And as long as you understand that and you feel comfortable with it and you feel like you're doing, the right thing, then I think that's what's important. So so we're getting a little bit of a pullback. Frickin' Diaz. But yeah. I like that. Actions speak louder than words. Yep. All right, team. So I think we're like around a 45-minute period, right? 40 minutes. Here we go. All right. How much did you make on that last DGAS trade? I don't know how much I made. I know I'm down on my current position, my open position on DGAS. Again, I'm doing the blind trading today, so not looking at my P&L, kind of just going with the flow. So I'll let you guys know on how it goes. But yeah, I mean, thank you guys again for hearing me out. I know I didn't trade too much. I think I took like, it was a 1-day trade, and then I just took another position, and then I averaged up. But hopefully my little tangent and little spiel was something that can at least like uplift you for the day, right? If there's any questions or you guys just want to talk about something, feel free to message me via Discord. Just do me the biggest favor, if you guys could keep it under 150 characters, just because the number of messages that we get, that would be ideal. I'd love to talk. I'm going to be trading for the next probably like 2 hours. And then after that, I just have a little bit of work that I have to catch up on. So I hope that's okay with you guys. But I wish you guys an amazing, rest of your Monday. Great start to your week. And yeah, let's learn something new. Let's make some money and let's have fun. So, and again, don't be afraid to like share what you did well today and what you could have done better, right? We have the channel within Learn Plan Profit, right? If you guys haven't checked it out, you guys can go here, the mistake channel, if you guys want to share your mistake, or the off-topic channel, or even in the main chat, if you just want to tag someone and maybe share what you could have done better or what you did very well, then we're here to hear you out. So all right, sounds good. So thank you guys again for your time. Continue working hard, continue following your dreams, let your passion be what drives your success. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.